Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. Every once in a while, we talk about something else crafty, but today it is all cross stitch. Might be little bits of cross stitch because it was a bit of a crazy week, which I will get into full detail later. A couple days, I think I had a sum total of 30 minutes of stitching, which is unheard of, but you know what? Life gets busy, and so I'll show you what I got. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play, giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see and you'll hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you checking it out. I know there's so many fabulous Flosstubers out there, so to give me a try. I need to slow down. I've been on like fast gear all week. For you to give me a try, I do appreciate it. And for my returning viewers, as always, thank you. Thank you so much for coming each and every week. Thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for being part of my stitchy journey. In regards to comments, I did my best. I tried to do a little bit from days to days. Yesterday was extremely busy day, so I did not get to them as I normally would. I got to as many as I could, and I promise I will be answering everybody's. Hopefully I can sit down this weekend and maybe take a chance to answer the rest of the comments that I haven't. So your comment has not been forgotten, and I will definitely respond to you. It just may take me a little bit of extra time. Okay, so stitching. So I have no new starts and I have no finishes. I'm close to a finish. I'm getting there on one. But this week was just not a week. I thought about starting something new, but mentally I just didn't have the oomph to do it and to make my final decisions. And there was so much. I was like, I just can't make decisions. I'm just going to pull out a project and stitch. So that's what we did. So I have 6 projects to show you today. Some you've seen last week, some I brought back. All right, so the first one is, I have no idea what I was just about to call it, but it's the Prairie Schooler 2021 Santa. And here we are. This is the guy closest to a finish. So I am very close. That's what he looks like. And I did a decent, this was one day where I was able to just sit down and get a little chunk of time stitching, which didn't really happen much this week, but all of this got done. So at this point, I am not doing the words and I'm not doing the border. So what I have is a bunch of like little berries and greenery to do for that. So there's a lot of back stitching at this point and some little X's, but very, very close. Hopefully, things are on tap to get, I have things that I have to do this week. So we'll see if I can get some good stitching time in, but I do hope to be able to sit down and get this guy done. And that way I'll have my second Prairie Schooler Santa done. And I know which one I want to do next. So that's that. I'm going to try not to bang the table. Sometimes it shakes my phone. Okay, next one. Vintage Needlearts, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moo. I skipped a week on this, but I decided I want to get back to the little cow. I am not stitching this top blue because I chose a different fabric, so I didn't want to. And did I tell you the fabric? I didn't. I am off my game today. This guy here, wow. It's not like I've only done, over 70 videos or anything. This guy here is a 18 count. They're all 18 count today. Jade from Picture This Plus. So that's what he is. All right, let's see if I can remember my fabrics now. So this, I'm just going to put this over a little bit. There's going to be some more flowers here, but I haven't gotten there yet, so I'll do this. That's how far I've gotten on my little cow. The cow was done, and all of this pretty much. So then I started to tackle the flowers. You see the cow is eating a little bit of this flower. This flower is completely miscounted, but I'm working with it. I think I just have to make sure that the next flower, I'm aware of what I'm doing and I don't necessarily base everything off of it. Otherwise they might all be thrown off. And we're gonna have a couple little bunnies down here. So we have one right here and there'll be another one right here. And so I am in the flower section now. This area was a little bit difficult for me because that was between 2 pages. And well, the one thing with Vintage Needlearts, I do like her patterns quite a bit. The only thing she does not do is she does not do the shaded when you have the 2 pages or multiple pages. She doesn't do like that shaded border, so you know where there's an overlap. So I think that's where I kind of messed up somehow or other with the counting. I got it a little wrong somewhere. So I'm hoping now that once I get over here, I'll be on a single page. And there's 3 different, I believe 3 or 4 different colors in these flowers. So it's just a matter of paying attention when I'm counting. But I think it's super cute and we're getting there. I have a couple more flowers, bunny and grass, and the cow will be done. So that's that one. That one I kind of switch from week to week. Santa I'll definitely try to do this week. The cow I seem to be stitching a week and then taking a week off and going back and forth. I need my iPad for this next one. So this one had been kind of on and off, lightly calling to me. And I kind of kept saying, oh, maybe not, maybe not. And then I happened to see the new pattern that came out, and it got me tempted to get back with this. So I'm talking about Hemlock and Rye Stitchery, Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world. She just put out her last of the 4 seasons houses. I believe it's summer in Cape Cod. This one happened to be the Halloween. So it's Samhaim and Salem. The only change I'm going to do, because I am going to stitch them in a row, is I'm just going to do a whole row of fence. She does have an alternative chart there where you can say Halloween in Salem, but I decided I just wanted to do just the fence all the way across because I do like that fence. So I started over here in the left corner, so we have nothing but yellow house. And these houses are legit. There is a lot to these houses. So it doesn't look like much, but this is a decent amount of stitching. I'm going to show you the big piece as a whole so you can see the fabric. This is, and you can kind of see through it there, but hopefully not too bad. This is called Old Library Marble, and it is from Dove Stitch. It's a fabric flare fabric, so it's printed. And I'm going to have the houses across with the fence. So now let me fold it over so we can get just to this one section. Excuse me, itchy nose. So that's what we have. There is a couple of blended. So Julie does a combination of variegated flosses and DMCs. If you've not used any of her stuff before with these houses, these are the first patterns I've done of Julie's. And so the house, instead of a variegated, Julie always gives 2 different DMCs. So you take a strand of each and then stitch. And so the roof is one, and then the yellow house is another one where it's 2 different strands. And I got a decent amount done. When I picked this up, okay, I had the roof, and then I just had the outline, and not even a full outline of this first window. And so I got the outline of that, outline of this, all this yellow, well, maybe there was a tiny bit of yellow, but most all the yellow, and then inside those, the last thing I wanted to try to get done was inside the windows. So these are legit houses. There's a lot of stitching on these houses, but they look so pretty. I did Christmas last year, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I love how it looks. So the goal, I would love to do all 4 of them. House stitching, I know it's kind of a love or hate relationship with a lot of people. Some people love stitching houses, some people hate stitching houses. I don't mind it, but I reach my limit and need to take breaks from it at times. So I'm going to ride this and we'll see this week if I do this one, if I put it aside for a week. But I do really, really like it. And I do like Julie's charts if you've never tried them before. I'll link underneath the description for this. I will link her it's a Gumroad shop, and the way Julie works it is she gives her charts away for free. So you can just put in 0 and you'll get the chart, or you can put in a dollar amount and pay something towards it. Either way, she's always said she's fine with, so her generosity is fabulous. But that is where I am there, and I hope to keep going. We'll see if I'm in a house mood this week or if I need to take a house break. We'll see. But it's great. The three different colors of houses, I really like how they're mixed and matched, and I really do, I do enjoy that. So we'll see. You know my plans are 0 plans, so I never know what I'm going to stitch next week when I go to see you, so it's always a surprise. This one, I looked up the wrong shop for the digital pattern to show you, so I'm actually just going to show you the black and white, which is fine because I'm coming along on this one. So that's the black and white of Cobblestone Crossing. I completely looked up the wrong shop, and they're on vacation. And so I was like, oh gosh, I can't show, I'll just have to show this. And then when I pulled this out, I said, oh, I had looked up the wrong shop. Stone Street Stitchworks is the shop here. Cobblestone Crossing. And, I'm just going to fold this part over because you don't need to see that long, big section. Here we go. This is where I am. This is an 18 count Old West by Color and Cotton. And it was a fabric of the month a few months back. And this was one of those days, actually I think this was yesterday, and I think no more than 30 minutes I don't think I had for stitching. And I was kind of tired, and seeing the holes was getting difficult even though this is 18 count. So I had got to the point where I was like, I'm going to wrap it up. But I did get done all of the, I think it's a 337 there. All the windows and the little door, and then this is a different color. I just finished this piece right here, and then you will see there is, I think, 5 stitches in it's a red, but it's definitely a maroonish red. I think it's, I'm not even going to say what number it is because I don't really remember. I thought I was going to get started on some more of the house, and then I was done. So that red of the house, or both houses, I think it's the same color. Those houses is what brings that little pop of color to the deeper tones and then the white snow. So I'm looking forward to throwing that in there. I decided I wanted to do that, get this house done before I tackle this guy over here, just to get some color into it. And now all I have to do, it's just straight down on both sides and fill in. So, and I don't think the windows are filled in. So all I have on this, which would be easy, I don't even have to look at the chart, I can just make my X's, is just fill in the house part, and then I'll come back over here. Stone Street, one of my favorite types of patterns to stitch. Very easy to read, very, very easy to read, and a lot of fun. So that's where we are on that one. All right, I'm zipping along. I definitely do have, this was a quiet week this week because there was so much life. So I know some of you really like the longer videos, so you get a lot of stitching in. This week I think it will be a little bit shorter, which some people like to, because then they can go on and watch another. So this week I think I'm going on the shorter side rather than the longer side. Oh, I don't want to show you this. This was the actual pattern there. Okay. The next one is another digital, and this one I did remember to properly look up the right store. I am really loving this pattern. It's going to take me forever to stitch, relative, compared to full coverage like the big full coverages. But I really enjoy the colors, and even though I only get little bits and pieces done, I like it. I really, really do like it. So this is what it looks like, and it's Autumn Towne from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I've seen some of the, I follow on Instagram, and then on some groups in Facebook, they also show some of the stuff coming out because it's Expo, right? Is that what it's called? With the new designs from designers coming out. And I know Autumn Lane had some really cute ones. There's some other people that had some really cute ones. Luminous Fiber Arts. So she had the berries, the clover, and then the new one she's got. I thought it was pretty. And I haven't stitched any of them yet. I want to stitch them all, but I just haven't gotten there yet. So, and so many more. But I'm going to be, like last time, I was very deliberate, and I didn't just pre-order and buy like crazy. I waited till everything came out, saw what it was, and then I made my decision. So I think I'll do that again. That works for me. This is where I am. This is 18 count Fallen Leaf. I'm not sure why that's hanging funny. holding it funny, I guess. Here, you know what? I'll hold it like this so it's not there. Fallen Leaf from To Die For Fabrics. And that is where I am. I got the house completely finished. I did this little, it's a half tree. That's all you see of the tree. And then I continued. This tree actually comes out here, but then I need to do some more of the branches. I've been finding with the trees, I like to do the branch kind of first and then fill in the color. It just seems to be working better for me. So I kind of did this and this and then kind of worked back here. So as usual, I'm just going to keep plugging away, finding a little piece of this and working on it. I do, again, love, love, love this piece. I love the colors. I love just what it's going to look like. Cute little autumn town when it's done. There are sections you'll see that will not get stitched, and that's why it's done. They had a different green, but I did keep the idea and spirit of the green. Oh, excuse me, my allergies have been popping up. End of August, as we get there, middle of August, definitely now, as I get older, they seem to start earlier in the season. And then by end of August, my allergies are in full bloom. But there are sections that won't be stitched. And so that's why I did keep fairly close to the called for. I didn't pick the called for, but I thought this was a really lovely color to bounce off all of the flosses. I did see somewhere online somebody had stitched this in a very deep yellow, and it looked beautiful. Those colors really popped on that as well. And I thought about that, but I saw this green and I really liked it, so I decided to go with that one instead. So that's Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And then the last piece that I worked on this week was Cinnamon Stars from Plum Street Samplers. I think I called it something wrong last time I showed this. I don't know if I showed this last week or not, because I'm not sure I remember stitching. I don't know. The weeks, tell me I'm not the only one. The weeks just seem to fold one into the other. And so what I think was last week was like 2 weeks ago or whatever, and time is just zipping along. Yesterday, I was forever, I didn't know what day it was. And I never clearly, never did I think it was Thursday, but I would say tomorrow, meaning tomorrow would be Sunday, and then I'd say tomorrow, meaning tomorrow would be Saturday. I was completely, and every time I would be like, which day do you mean? I don't know anymore. But Cinnamon Stars. And I am using just the DMCs, so you will see the middle house is going to look different than the picture. If you'd like to see a really cool one with the variegated that is similar to this picture, if you haven't stitched this yet, I know there was a stretch where a lot of people had stitched this. Paula, Stitching in High Heels, is also stitching this one, and she used the variegated and the middle of her house. She's got the whole house done, I believe. It's beautiful. She started with the house. I started on the side. So you'll see two different ways there with the stitching. But there it is so far. This is an 18 count Honey Amber by Fabrics by Stephanie. Now I chose this color fabric because before I started this one, I had started, and I was thinking this morning as I was looking at this one, feeling a little guilty. I previously started Betsy's Autumn, which is also Plum Street Samplers, and they have very similar color schemes, and they're both kind of, well, that one's definitely fall as well. And this one with the pumpkins, you get that feel. So I wanted to stitch them both in the same fabric. And I had started that one first, and I love this. I really love this color, Honey Amber, anyway. So it was no brainer. I had this actually, whatever was the piece that I had bought from Stephanie, it pretty much just got cut in half, and I used one for Betsy's Autumn, one for Cinnamon Stars. Maybe I'll bring out Betsy's Autumn next week if I want some autumn colors. Shake it up a little bit. But, ooh, and I just wrinkled it. So that's where we are. Honestly, all I did was just focus on the house. I really wanted to get this done. That's a big house. You don't realize it looking at it, but there is so much stitching on that. I think once I get that done, and I had a little bit of the work in between the stones to work on here. Excuse me. So once this, once that gets done, down here, I think will go a lot faster. These should zip right along, those little stars, because they're just variations of the same different colors. So you can just rotate through and then just fill in as you go. But the house is the big part, and this was really big. So that's what it looks like if you're doing straight DMC. It looks totally different, but I like it. And I think when I have the other side with the rocks filled in, I think it's really going to show off nicely. That color really looks nice against, you know, the very light of that with the rocks. So it really depends on the look you're going for. You know, I haven't really done much with the variegated, and I'm not sure that it's the look for me. So that's why, partially why I haven't used it, partially DMC is cheaper, let's be honest, and so I can go a long way with it. But I think this was the right decision for me. I could see if you were going to choose variegated for one part of this pattern, you could do it right here, especially if you really like that multicolored look. I'm not sure with the other stuff, especially like the flowers and all that. They're small. You're not going to see a difference anyway. So that could be something you could think about if you wanted to do mostly DMC and maybe throw in a variegated, or that's what it looks like full DMC. Pretty. I really like this color. It shows off a lot of things really nicely. And I really do like these colors against it. So those my stitching for the week. Like I said, I don't know. Whoops, I'm taking the little bit underneath there off too. I'm not sure this week. I do want to try to finish Prairie Schooler Santa, and I'm looking at my notes. What else do I definitely? Cobblestone Crossing. I would like to maybe get that house finished so I can have one house done. And other than that, I'm not really sure. I do like the colors in Autumn Town, so maybe that will continue, or maybe I'll switch out. There's a fall one that I wanted to start that has a lot, kind of those same bright colors, but I don't know if I want to start right now. My goal for the month, if I was going to do starts, was 2, and I've already started one. I started The Earth Laughs by Jan Hicks Creates. So what I want to start second, I don't know, and when I start it, I'm not sure. We'll see. And maybe I kind of even deviate from that. I kind of wanted to keep going on some of my current projects just to see some progress. So we'll see. Not that having the open projects causes me any sort of stress, but I'm really enjoying a lot of them. So part of me is kind of thinking, well, if I like what I'm doing right now, why don't I just keep doing that rather than starting something new? So we'll see. We'll see. Happy Mail. I got a piece of Happy Mail, and I was so grateful. I got this in the mail. And we get nothing but junk now. Nothing. We won't even get, last year was all college stuff because before Connor decided on a college. Now, which was junk anyway, because he kind of, you know, had the ones he was looking at and whatever. Now it's nothing but junk. So this was a lovely little bright spot in the week of junk mail. I got this beautiful, beautiful card from Cheryl. I adore it. I have a design, I used to have it up there, of 3 butterflies, but it was nowhere near as intricate or beautifully colored as this, because while there are people who could do the butterflies in that beautiful, beautiful color, I don't usually spend that much time on it. So I love this, and it's got the beautiful purple background. So gorgeous card. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Beautiful. And then she sent me a couple of charts, which I'm extremely excited about. I had neither one of them, and they are totally new, different for me. This first one is from Heart and Hand, Ye Old Crow sampler. And what's funny is I have never done any samplers, and I love watching people do the samplers, and I love seeing their stitched up versions of them. It's just something that I generally wouldn't do, you know, the big traditional big samplers. But this one is so cute, and I actually had my eye on it at one point that it could be like a little mini sampler for me. So I thought that was really cute. And I do like the monochromatic idea of this one, which will appeal to me. I can find just a really, really pretty fabric. You know, I have, with the different fabrics of the months, received some really gorgeous fabrics, and it's a chance to try one. Not necessarily in this color scheme. Maybe something totally different. So that was the first one. And the second one is a Jardin Privé Gentleman Quaker. I have never stitched any Jardin Privés, and so this was the first time looking at the charts. The chart looks easy to follow, looks really nice. They actually, you can replace the dog with a flower, but You know, I like dogs, so I would probably keep the dog. And I was thinking with this one, I might just stitch it without, you know, I can change that a little bit and maybe stitch it from to here without the extra letters. This week. Without that extra part. I think that would be really nice. And I didn't realize there was a ladies Quaker kind of companion piece as well. So at some point then maybe I jump in that. I like the 2-color scheme of this. It's really pretty. I love the color they chose for the blue. It's just a DMC, which I think is beautiful. 931, which I do like 931. I do like that color. So I'm super excited with this one as well. Thank you so much, Cheryl. They are patterns that I didn't have. I'm not sure I would have been it would have been the first thing to buy, but I love them. And you picked spot on. Just something that I think I'm really going to enjoy doing. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now shopping. See, good thing I had a couple charts to show you because I have no shopping to show you. 2 reasons. 1, I have 2 kids in college now. It's expensive. So obviously I have to watch what I'm spending. But secondly, that doesn't mean I'm stopping. Let's get that straight. I'm still going to buy some stuff. I do have a couple orders. I thought I had 1, 2, 3 stitch and part of it had said it shipped. I thought it might come before today, but it had not yet. And I believe one of my fabric of the months, I think Color and Cotton, said they had shipped. I did not get that yet. I was going to buy one of the sets of 3 from Crochet A Go-Go no, it's a set of 4. You know, it's the 4 months. So she has January through April and then May through August, and she's coming out with the last one, I assume shortly, considering we're almost in September. Because I wanted to jump in. So Sarah is stitching them each month as part of a year-long sale. And she started with January, which looks gorgeous. I think I was going to buy the May one, possibly if when they come back they have the September one, I'll decide. But they're the ones that went on vacation. So she's currently on a vacation in her Etsy shop. Basically, when you put Etsy shops on vacation, you don't see any of their products. So you can't see or buy. So I have to wait till she comes back. But I would have bought one of those charts because I am excited to give those a try. So I guess we'll have to wait on that. Maybe next week. And like I said, maybe she's getting ready and gearing up. When she comes back, she'll have the September through December one in. So then I'll have to decide which one I want to buy and where I want to start. So that's some potential shopping in the works. Just not there yet. Giveaways. Let's talk giveaways. So this week, I'm not going to take it out because it is very nicely packed and in there just so I don't want to wreck it. But this week I'm giving away the antique bird and cages from Shakespeare's Peddler. I do like these designs. I stitched the keys. That was a lot of fun. This one looks really cool as well. So I thought I'd like to give that one away. And thank you so much for your shark answers. I can say emphatically that most of us are staying on the boat, maybe stitching, while a few of you would go and swim with sharks. Most, if you said yes, said in a cage. Did I have any free scuba swimmers? I think a couple of you have done it. You're amazing. That is amazing to me. I couldn't do that. All right. Our winner is, who am I going to send this one to? Separate they're all stuck. Ah, all right. Oh, there was 2 together. I want this to be fair, so. Okay. Now it's only 1. All right, who is it? Who do we have? Tina Stitches. So Tina, congratulations on winning the Antique Birds and Cages. If you could please send me your, I was going to say email address, that doesn't work, your actual physical address, I will ship that to you. You can either send it to me through Gmail, which is down below. It's always in all of my videos. You should be the first thing right after thank you. And, or you could do Instagram as well. Or, you know, however you find me. And if you do send me an email and you don't hear from me within a few days, either throw, in the comments that you did it, or try me again. Because sometimes, especially Gmail, seems kind of, it's funny sometimes. So some things don't always come through. But Tina Stitches, congratulations. You won that one. And as always, 2 weeks, please, to get back to me. All right, this week's giveaway is a piece of fabric. Again, I need to marshal my thoughts and I'm trying to talk faster than my thoughts want to make the words. I didn't iron this, so it's going to look a little bit, but thanks to the generosity several months back from Deb, she had sent some charts and some fabric, and she had sent me some finishing items, and this was one of them that she said could, I'd be welcome to do as a giveaway. And I thought this was gorgeous, and I thought this would be nice, a nice color that could go with so many things, whether it was spring, I could see summer, I could see fall, actually, winter, yeah, even winter, I suppose. Winter would, yeah, because if you go, like, if you celebrate Christmas, you want to do something Christmassy. Snow, winter, that would be the other one, maybe not. But this is, I'm going to say, so you could call it mint. I'm going to call it a very light sage, because that's what I'm going with. But that's the kind of color it reminds me of. I know there it might be showing up white, maybe. It's kind of overcast today, so I do have the light on, so it's a little bit maybe artificial lighty. It is, I measured it, it is a 17 by just under 15 inch piece, and I did my best to count the holes, but that's tough to count with 1 inch. I think it's a 28 count, but I cannot guarantee that. I think that's what I counted, but then the holes started to blur a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit of a surprise. But whether you do like this kind of stitch count or you were looking to try this kind of stitch count, that's this week's giveaway. The word with the giveaway, as if you're new, most of you know who have done this before, I have 2 parts. You say a word and you answer a question. The question, which I'm really interested in this week, is for everybody. And then if you'd like me to enter you into the giveaway after answering or before, anywhere in the comment, just say a word. The word is going to be sage, S-A-G-E, sage. And that's the word I'll look for. I usually do a search and I pull out those comments and then I pick your name or pick a name. Now the question is, let's talk sleep for a minute. I have one thing going against me. I'm in my early 50s. Things are happening, changing, whatever. So sleep is affected because of that. I get that, whatever. But life has been full of lots of changes and differences. And I'm just not sleeping well. And so I want to know, do you have a go-to help for sleep? Is there something that, if you're not sleeping well, is there something that just helps you? I am open to meditation. I do yoga. The only thing is I would drink like a tea right before going to bed, but then I'm up half the night for other reasons. So even like a chamomile tea, obviously, it goes through me at this age. So that's the one thing that doesn't work for me. I'm curious if it works for you, especially if you are closer to my age. But do you have a sleep routine? Do you have some tried and true sleep things? Part of it at times is if I wake up, my brain doesn't want to shut off again. And so, I use some techniques that I know, but and I think part of it could be right now too. There's a lot going on and some stress, some just thinking, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm curious. So everybody, please, anything you got about sleep for suggestions. Are you kind of in the same boat as me? We can commiserate together. You look it up and yes, no screens X amount of time before and same routine and this and I got all that for the most part. So it's like, tell me what you do. Tell me your secrets. That's what I would like to know. So that's the question. And if you'd like to be entered into the giveaway for the fabric, just say the word sage anywhere in the comments. And that's it for the giveaway. And that's it for stitching. Yeah, see, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a shorter video. Thank you for hanging in there if you're still there with my brain is scattered. I think part of it is tiredness. I did not sleep well last night. And I think I'm just scattered and everywhere right now after this week and so on and so forth. So, and I think I've got a little bit of, I think, and this is why not stitching much the last couple of days probably helped. My wrists were a little bit sore, I think, from some stitching. So I am doing the work that needs to be done to help fix those as well. So that also kind of just discombobulated me. But this week, obviously, we sent both kids off to college. I already know the title is going to be Stitching in an Empty Nest. That was an easy one to come up for this week's video. The drop-offs seemed to go well. They each forgot a few things. Either they can wait till we get it to them, or I can ship something to them if need be. There's always stuff, right? You know, I mean, you plan all this stuff, and then when you walk out the door, you just forget something or other. So, or you think you've packed everything, and then you just totally forgot something. I think Connor said he forgot soap, so he's just gonna go and get some at the bookstore. You know, they have all that kind of good stuff too. So, yeah, you know, trying to get everybody packed up, get all their stuff, get them to their respective schools. And yesterday was Connor's drop off. We were up in Worcester, Mass, and for all my Massachusetts friends, I was there. It poured. I mean, poured. We had the remnants of Fred yesterday in Connecticut and Massachusetts. So we got up, I could hear it overnight. And it was funny because when we woke up, I said to Mo, oh, it can't get any heavier than this. And then we would joke because like every half an hour, it seemed to get heavier and heavier and heavier raining. So the entire drive up to Worcester, it was pouring. We get there, they were very organized. The school was, we went to one section. He got something for us for our car to then go unload the car. He went somewhere else to get tested for COVID, as well as his room key and his ID cards. And then he met us at the dorm. By the time he was done with that stuff, we had actually unloaded the car in the pouring rain. Again, though, the school, it was amazing. You parked outside. They had these carts that you could, rent. You just gave an ID and then you took it and then, turned it in when you were done, that you could pile up. And they had tons and tons of kids, helpers. So like I was trying to get the cart up and, a couple of young guys came up. It's like, can I help you? Absolutely. And they were able to carry some suitcase and the cart and it just made things so much easier to have some extra helping hands in the pouring rain. I was soaked. I don't even know how I did it. I had forgotten my mask. So before I went in, I ran back to the car to get it. And when I went back to the car for some stuff, somehow or other, my entire body just got, I don't know if rain from the car came on. I don't know what happened, but I was soaked from top to bottom, including my feet because there was puddles everywhere. So we were unpacking him, just generally soaked, but it is the way it is. And got him all squared away. They had food trucks, so everybody had a ticket. The kids could go eat in a certain area cafeteria wise. They asked parents to eat somewhere else, which was fine. I get it. They had a vegan option, which was lovely, so I was able to have something to eat. And then we said our goodbyes, and that was it, type of thing. And then traffic was tough coming back. So it was definitely a big, a long day, stuff going on and everything else. But I had to laugh because so Connor's room is actually in the basement. What's nice though is it's a basement, but there is windows. So you're not like underground dungeon basement. It's just you go downstairs, so it must be kind of like on a hill, and you can still look out a little bit. So I guess it's technically not a basement, but it's as low as you can go. And so, he's in a suite. So, you had his roommate was unpacking, and the parental people there, and I think there was, you know, in the next room there was somebody unpacking and whatever. So next thing you know, everybody's phones blare. You know, you get those emergency warnings, you know what I mean? And your phone all of a sudden blares like crazy, like that really loud alarm signal. And we all clearly must have had iPhones because it was all blaring at the same time. We look at the phone, tornado warning for Worcester. Please seek cover and go underground. Well, we were as far down as we could go. So we're like, well, we're in the basement, as much as the basement is. So it's the best we can do. There's nothing else we could do. We might as well just keep unpacking him, which is what we did. So he will at least remember that he moved in a torrential downpour, the remnants of a tropical storm, and a potential tornado. Luckily, though, at I think around noonish, maybe even a little bit before, because when we went out to get the lunch from the food trucks, the rain had stopped, and in fact, the clouds were starting to clear, and there was some that came out. It was that, of course, then it was that hot, sticky, you know, after that rain, when you get that mugginess. But yeah, it definitely did clear up. So I don't know if it stayed clear there. We hit a little bit of rain coming back to Connecticut, but then by last night, it was beautiful. I mean, blue skies and sun, and it was probably the brightest it had been all day at 7 o'clock at night. But that one will be a memory. That will be a memory. So please send your good thoughts. Connor is, he is a shy kid, and he's very introverted in a lot of ways. So, of course, as mom, I'm a little worried, but send your good thoughts that he finds a good group and finds some friends and fits in and all that. Megan, of course, it's her junior year, so she has her, you know, I know there was people coming, you know, she's got the sports, so she's got the friends there, and everybody was going to be trickling in and coming in. So I knew she'd be okay, but of course, new experience. So good thoughts, please. And yeah, that's about it. I did not make it to IKEA last week, just didn't happen. Hopefully we'll be able to get a trip down on another day. Shamrock's getting his hair cut yesterday. See, look at, I don't even know the days. So today's Friday. He's getting a cut tomorrow. He turned 11 yesterday. It was his birthday. So he didn't really care. But, you know, saying him happy birthday. He is 11 years old now. So he's our big guy. And so now he's the kid in the house now with both other kids gone. But that's about it. That's all I got. I rambled enough to make this a little bit of a longer video. If you are still here, thank you for listening to what's going on in life. Yeah, you know, this week, we'll see if there's anything major Connor forgot in case we need to take a trip up. He has plenty of room in his space in his room. In fact, we could have gotten another storage thing if we wanted, because we didn't know how the room was set up. But I think he's pretty good, so hopefully we'll see what happens. As he settles in to see if he forgot anything major. But yeah, that's about it. We'll see what the week brings. I have some appointments and things to do next week, but we'll see what kind of stitching I can get in and see how I'm feeling. And I'm going to do lots of stretching for my wrists so I can feel better there too. All right, so that's about it. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I hope things are going okay where you are. As you know, school starts back and everything like that. And I'm thinking of you. I'm stitching with you. And until next time, happy stitching.